Honourable Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Ministers and Honourable Members of Parliament, good afternoon. Honourable Speaker, under the leadership of our Prime Minister in 1995, Fiji endorsed the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, or BPFA for short. It was a comprehensive global agenda for the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. Since then, the UN Commission on the Status of Women has taken stock of progress on this platform for action every 5 years. And for Fiji, I am pleased to update this House. The Cabinet last month had endorsed Fiji's +30 National Review Report on the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. So it has been 30 years, Honourable Speaker. And 30 years, we are again under the able leadership of our Honourable Prime Minister to bring this event, which will be celebrated next year. The BPFA process provided an opportunity for Fiji to undertake its national review of the 12 critical areas, highlighting significant achievements and challenges of women and girls over the past 5 years. Now, these critical areas, Honourable Speaker, are clustered into 6 dimensions, which includes areas such as inclusive development, social protection, freedom from violence, stigma and stereotypes, gender-responsive institutions, and environmental conservation. The Fiji BPA +30 review report drew extensive insights from the Fiji Country Gender Assessment, which was approved by Cabinet in 2023, and the work that was conducted by the previous government to get to that point. And I acknowledge the contribution of my former 2 women ministers. The FCGA was undertaken over the course of 2 years and realized through a whole-of-government and inclusive consultation process with various stakeholders. In this context, and building upon the extensive consultation process for the FCGA and other key recent national strategic initiatives, the BPA +30 report also benefited from further consultations and input from civil society and women's rights organizations, whom I'd like to also acknowledge. So, Honourable Speaker, the preparation of the report for next year was made much easier with the Fiji Country Gender Assessment. It's important to underline that despite the gendered impacts of the global health pandemic and the continued effects of the climate crisis, Fiji has made strides in advancing gender equality over the last 5 years. These achievements, as you know, are attributed to the development and implementation of key whole-of-government gender equality policies. These strategic national efforts involved partnerships, as I had mentioned, with civil society, NGOs, faith-based organizations, and women's rights organizations. Honourable Speaker, furthermore, the report underscored Fiji's commitment to a whole-of-government, evidence-based and transformative approach in rolling out these initiatives. And this was commended very well at the Women's Ministers meeting and triennial meeting in the Marshall Islands, where our counterpart, women ministers around the Pacific, would like to get more information and also help them to develop such policies in their own countries. As you know, this includes the National Action Plan to Prevent Gender-Based Violence and the upcoming Fiji Women's Economic Empowerment National Action Plan and Phase 2 of the Gender Responsive Budgeting and Gender Transformative Institutional Capacity Development Initiative, or ICD. I would just like to, at this point, Honourable Speaker, clarify to members of the public that there is a difference between gender transformative, the use of those words, and transgender. There was some confusion on social media about this, and of course there were a lot of criticisms about the initiative, but I'd like to clarify that this is not such the case. The Gender Transformative Institutional Capacity Development Initiative looks at rolling out or gender mainstreaming across ministries and agencies in terms of planning and budgeting and having policies to that effect. Additionally, Honourable Speaker, the report highlights significant achievements in critical areas, including our social protection policies. Of course, we know all our 6 programs that we currently run are looking at specifically supporting women in the areas of family assistance scheme, the care and protection allowance for children, the social pension scheme, the rural pregnant mothers program, food voucher program, as well as the transport allowance, and of course the disability allowance scheme as well. The report also highlights the challenges that remain. That whilst we celebrate our educational achievements and robust legal and policy foundations, there's a need to ensure these translate into real impacts. What does this mean? That is equal participation in the formal economy. Even though we have over 50% of women graduates, we still see a very low participation in the formal economy and the labor participation of women. So what is the disconnect there, Honourable Speaker? And this is all part of the development of the Fiji Women's Economic Empowerment Plan. And that is to look into that. It also includes access to financial resources. There are efforts being made, and I thank the line ministries involved, including the Ministry for Trade and Small and Micro and Medium Enterprises, where women are becoming the focus of the provision of microfinance for them. Honourable Speaker, there's also a lack of leadership roles in both public and private spheres, and we all need to do better to commit to more women participating in these roles. Of course, the report also highlights the high incidence of gender-based violence, including technology-facilitated gender-based violence, and also in the area of women's health. And I thank the Honourable Minister for Health and his team in their commitment in hopefully developing a policy to deal with cervical cancer in Fiji, which is the #1 cause of death for women in Fiji. Honourable Speaker, going forward, following the submission of this review report, we now anticipate Fiji's participation at the regional review at the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference in Thailand from the 19th to 21st November, which Fiji has been nominated to be the vice chair. In preparation for the conference in November, we aim to bring together CSOs, our faith-based organizations and women's organizations as well, to present the report. Honourable Speaker, the UN Women, and I thank the UN Women Fiji Multi-Country Office, we're collaborating with our team in the ministry to prepare for this and our government delegations, which Fiji will be part of. To conclude, Honourable Speaker, as we approach this remarkable 30th anniversary of the Beijing Platform for Action in 2025, the Beijing Platform for Action Plus 30 Review Report will showcase not just statistics, but the resilience and successes of our Fijian women and girls. In all their diversity, Fiji stands as a leader, stands at this pivotal juncture, one where we not only celebrate our achievements, but also confront the challenges that continue to persist in the struggle for gender equality and an urgent call to action. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.